all these secrets involving them, and King Diamond and Missy and his mother and the grandma and King's therapist are all coming together as a conspiracy. So Conspiracy is a very, very awesome, and to me was overlooked as a King Diamond album back in the day. I used to really like them and Abigail more, and I even like the Spider's Lullaby a little bit more. But this one is absolutely awesome, and I have to say this is probably the second best King Diamond album. The artwork is kind of cool. I don't like the way King Diamond sort of looks in the artwork. It's just his face shoved in there, and it kind of looks a little weird. But I do kind of like how it looks. It's supposed to look like a portrait or whatever. There's also an alternative version, which is pretty cool, but I don't like how it's black and white. The lineup is the same as the last album, but I have to say the songwriting on here is absolutely a lot better than the last album. It does not sound like they shoved in weird stuff everywhere, like all these weird vocal parts to keep the story going. This stuff is so well written that it actually feels like a Merciful Fate album. And in many ways, it's probably his best album. But I do think Abigail's a lot more consistent. There are some parts towards the end that are kind of fillerish. But this one definitely is like the heir to the throne for Merciful Fate albums. And I think King should have kept writing like this. Even though it's a very, very, very good album, I'd have to say it's musically better than them. But I think the story is a lot less good. It is the sequel to them. And what happened, at the end of them, just watch the review I had, I sort of gave the story. But King Diamond pretty much killed his sister and grandma because ghosts were controlling them. It's all this weird type of ghost haunting possession shit. But in this one, he returns from the asylum he was put in. And he's now controller of the house, but he wants to know all these secrets, like what the hell happened. Because I'm fucking confused too, what's going on? So he makes a deal with the unseen ghosts, them, that they're called, and he says, you can have the house again, but I want you to resurrect my dead sister so I can ask her questions. But then at the same time, King's therapist and his mother are trying to get rid of King so that they can have the House of Haman. It doesn't really say, but I'm guessing that this unseen spirits of them are controlling his mother and the therapist as well, because it just seems out of place, especially from the last story, for her to just be like, yeah, let's get rid of my son so we can have this house. And at the end of the story, King is killed, but then swears to haunt them from the grave. So the first song, At the Graves, is very creepy, some great little piano work, and I'm surprised King wrote this song by himself because it is so well written, it's extremely progressive, it's very long, it has a lot of great changes in there. This definitely sounds like a Merciful Fate song. There's some incredible screams in there, and then later on the song, we have some really, really badass, grooving, heavy riffs. Very fast and almost speed metal-ish all the way through. It's very fucking heavy, and you can already tell the production is already better than the last album. They're trying a lot harder than the last album. They're definitely making some way better music, and there's some really good, catchy songs on this album, too. It just keeps progressing this awesome fashion like the old Merciful Fate epics used to do, and get some more haunting, grooving riffs towards the end. And I'd say this is probably one of King Diamond's absolute best songs he has ever written. Sleepless Night, this one is very heavy and groovy. Pretty much all these songs are like really thrashy. The verse has this awesome chugging riff in there, and King sings these incredible vocal melodies. I think his vocals on this album on top form. He delivers some really, really good singing. I love how for like the chorus it sort of gets like beautiful and quiet, and then all of a sudden King comes back with these incredible high notes. When the clock strikes midnight! I'd say that the guitar solos are actually a little bit improved on this album as well, because the guitar solos on this song are very, very catchy and memorable. They form an incredible lead guitar duo. Probably one of the best songs off the album as well, but there are so many good ones here. Lies. This is a great song. It begins with this awesome, heavy, groovy riff. Then it goes into this awesome, really catchy, memorable verse that has sort of a cool gallop to it, and I think the rhythm section during this song is very, very effective. And the chorus is very cool, though it kind of feels abrupt because it's just doing that same tempo. All of a sudden, it changes riffs and gets very, very epic. But King delivers these incredible, incredible high notes during that part. I love the chorus where he says, "He asked me questions, and then I gave him answers." Then we have a cool song, "A Visit from the Dead," which I assume is about Missy coming back from the dead. It begins very beautiful and it doesn't feel cheesy. King actually does work really well with the acoustic guitars and cool ambience during this part. Then it transforms into one of my favorite songs of the album. It's very thrashy, it changes all over, and it doesn't really feel like it has a set in stone structure. It's kind of unorthodox. All the riffs in there are very, very cool and memorable, and then there's this really awesome guitar solo at the end. And then we have The Wedding Dream, which is very cool. I don't know what the hell this song is about, but we go into these awesome organ parts, and then King does these like really haunting vocals. It sounds like something off of Don't Break the Oath. And then it gets heavy as fuck and extremely, extremely speed metal oriented. Then we go into some absolute apeshit guitar solos in the metal part, and I love when King says, "The doctor is the devil." One of my lesser favorite songs, but still very, very good. Then we have the song "Ammon Belongs to Them," and I think because, you know, Ammon is the name of the house and them, I think this is now he basically gives the Ammon house to them for them to possess the house. I don't know why the fuck ghosts would want a house, but okay. Now this song is very, very cool and has a lot of great changes, but only gets like really awesome and memorable during that chorus. It has some awesome heavy parts, some great memorable riffs that are very catchy, and some awesome vocal lines. And I absolutely love the second part of the chorus, you know. The chorus is incredibly catchy, it's very memorable, one of the most memorable choruses off the album. I mean, one of my lesser favorite songs too, it's kind of weird, but I'd say The Wedding Dream out of like the normal songs is probably the weakest song, but this one is still pretty good. Then we have the song Something Weird, which is something weird. It's just sort of random and all over the place. Has a lot of cool little haunting things. It's a little instrumental thing. But I actually think it's pretty cool because there's a lot of really awesome bits in there. It doesn't really amount to much, but I think it's a cool piece of music. I'll never really skip it in the album, but it's not like that strong either. It just has some really cool, almost horror movie sounding stuff in there. Then we have one of the best songs of the album, Victimized. This one's all over the place, it's very heavy, and I would say King sort of crams some lyrics in around here, but I think it actually kind of works because it's so chaotic and so thrashy, but I think it's done tastefully because the way he delivers the lyrics, they're very memorable and catchy. And the guitar riff in there is very fucking awesome and catchy, and probably one of the best riffs off the whole album. Probably the best riff off the whole album. The guitar solos in there are very cool and memorable as well. And then at the end it gets extremely chaotic with those vocal parts and guitar solos all over the place. It just feels fucking crazy. And it sort of feels like the album's about to end, and then we still have 2 tracks yet though. Then we have Let It Be Done, which I guess is where they kill King. And it just sounds like some crazy fucking abrupt organ stuff to be scary, and it has all these really cool keyboardy things that sort of sound like horror movie stuff. And then it goes into Cremation, which is crazy. It's a little instrumental thing. It's weird because they just play the same thing essentially, the dun 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 for like 4 minutes. What they do is they progress the rest of the music and change up the arrangement so much that they actually make it sound really cool. Like, have you ever heard like Call of Cthulhu from Metallica? It's sort of like the 2 same things over and over. What they do is they progress everything around it so that it keeps sounding different and refresh every time, but it keeps holding on to that really cool catchy thing. I think it's done very, very well. I do think it's a really awesome way to end the album. So Conspiracy, definitely check this one out. It's, for me, an excellent grower. I thought this one was sort of generic at first, but then now I think it's the second best King Diamond album. Absolutely amazing.